What is going on? And I'm back with another video. If this is your first time here, by the way, my name is Vanz, and my passion is to spark interest in toy collecting by giving tips and smarter ways to collect with all my video. If you are a toy collector or someone who enjoys any kind of toy stuff, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you won't miss anything. So for today's episode, you guys are watching Who's That Fig, a show dedicated to helping you guys decide if you should get this figure. So if you want a genuine, detailed, and an honest review, then this video is for you. So make sure to stick till the end of the video, for I'll be discussing about accessories, aesthetics, and articulation coming up. Big Bad Toy Store has a massive selection of toys like action figures, statues, and a lot of geek stuff. So make sure to buy your toys at Big Bad Toy Store. I put a link in the description down below, so go check them out. So for today, we're having a look at Star Wars The Black Series Ahsoka Tano from the Star Wars Rebels. The figure is a representation of what Ahsoka looked from the Disney XD cartoon series. Hasbro did a good job with the transition from a cartoon-like to a more realistic look. So let's take a quick look of the box. Starting from the bottom, you'll see Hasbro's logo, a warning sign, Ahsoka Tano, an image, and the Black Series logo. On the left side of the box, you'll see a number 20, Ahsoka Tano's name, a barcode, and an item code. On the right side of the box, you'll see Ahsoka Tano's name in red and watermark background. At the back of the box, you'll see Hasbro's logo, warning sign in different languages, Disney's logo, introduction, an image, Star Wars Black Series logo, and number 20. Alright, so out of the box, here's how it looks. And the figure came with two completely different size lightsabers. Okay. There you go. Both of them have a curved hilts. Painted in silver accent with some details in it. You can see some black, and the top button here is painted as well. And there's also different sizes. If you notice, there is a shorter blade, which is also called a Shoto lightsaber. So in the Rebel series, both lightsabers emit a white blade, but in toy form, if you guys have noticed, they do have a slightly blue tint, like a powder bluish color. And also in the hilt, there is a ring which you can actually hook this up into the figure's armor located in the hips. And like what they did about this, it's actually these small details, small interactions that make a really good figure. Alright, so let's look at the figure. Alright, and wow, the sculpt is actually really nice, as well as the paint app. And if you're gonna look, as you can see, the paint application on the face is really nice. You can see some white marks in there. I think it's a white tattoo on her face. And the horns and the tail skin is detailed nicely. I really like the texture in it, and the tattoo detail. I'm looking at the tattoo details as well. It's painted pretty solid. Alright. And let's look into the armor. Okay, you can see some painted like brownish color here, and the bracer, you'll see some I think it's kind of like silver with some painted yellow buttons there. You can see some soft goods in here and some plastic. It's a combination of soft and plastic material. Looking at the back, it is nicely detailed, as you can see. There's also some silver here, silver linings, and here is where you can here's the hook. And what I like about this, it's pretty sturdy, unlike other figures where I had problems with some of my figures where this is too rubbery, it's too soft, that if you hook the hilt it falls down right away. But this is really good. It is pretty solid, pretty sturdy. I like what they did about that. You can see some details here as well. There's brown, light brown, lots of colors. And the boots also is painted nicely. So detail and sculpt, this figure is really good. You'll see a lot of colors. The paint application and details is solid, pretty solid. Alright, so let's look into the articulation. Okay, so the head does have a hinge. As you can see, that is a hinge joint. And alright, so we can see a motion there. So this is definitely a hinge and a ball joint for the head section. I understand that there's not going to be that much motion on the head because of the head tail, but there's really nothing we can do about that because that's how the figure looks. Right? It could have been better if they did use a barbell joint for the head, but at least they did use a single ball joint connected into the hinge type. That will be much better compared to using this. Alright, so this is an example of a hinge and a swivel joint. So if you notice, this is kind of look like a mushroom look. It's not like a ball peg. Right? And if you're using this for the head, it's not gonna give you this motion. Alright, there won't be any side to side. The only thing that the head can do is to swivel, the rotation. Alright, so that's what this kind of joint does. Alright, and for the Black Series Hasbro, they use this a lot on the head joint. Alright, which I'm not a fan of. But I mean, the articulation in the head with the Ahsoka is okay. Alright, onto the shoulders. It is a hinge and a swivel joint as well. We don't have a bicep cut because we already have a single and a hinge joint onto both elbows. And for the wrist, again, for some reason that I don't understand, they did use a horizontal hinge onto the wrist. Alright, so again, this should be, since the accessory that we're using are lightsabers, and that's the only accessories included in the figure, this should have been a horizontal hinge onto the wrist. And for some reason, on the right side, they did use the horizontal hinge. It should be for both wrists. Right, the left does have a horizontal hinge that I don't like. This one they did use vertical, which is supposed to be. Alright, so for the torso section, they did use a ball joint definitely this is a ball joint, since you can see a motion there. Alright, which is really good. Okay, so shoulders can go up. That's a good range. Full rotation for both shoulders, as well as the wrist and the elbows. Okay, so let's see the range here. Okay, we do have a better range as well with the elbows. Alright, we don't have any problems with the articulation in the shoulder part, as well as the torso section. The articulation is good. Alright, so let's see. Because of the soft goods here, we can only do a Y split. Alright, but I doubt that we can do a T split or a full split even without this. Alright, so that's Hasbro. Hasbro should really do something about that. And alright, so the hips, we do have a tie cut over here. Let me see if you can see there you go. We do have tie cut for both legs, and we do have a double jointed knees. That's a good range for the figure. Right, can go forward this much, can go backward not that much because of the soft goods here. Y split, okay, but the joints are good. I don't have any issues with the joint. Alright, we do have a ankle rocker, not that much. The foot is on a hinge and a all swivel, as well, as you can see in that. Alright, there's a little bit ankle rocker for both. I do see that every time that I raise this up, I'm having issues because this is actually hitting here. Alright, so that's just a minor issue with the figure. Maybe it's just how it's made, but this doesn't mean that all of the figures are like this. Maybe it's just my figure. Alright, so this is actually a pretty solid figure, to be honest. The articulation is good. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's good. It's alright. The details and the sculpt is really nice. I'm gonna say, guys, this is a pretty solid figure. And just so you guys know, she can hold the lightsabers very nicely. Not all figures can do that. And the grip on the lightsaber, I like how Hasbro did this, and this should always be for all of the Black series. Alright, this is the only figure that I have that has a very nice grip on the lightsaber. Maybe because of how they did some adjusting with the fingers here, which I really like. You can see, you can notice the grip is pretty solid, and that is the reason why this figure won't have any issues holding the lightsaber. See? See, it's pretty much nice. Alright, so overall, again, this is a very good figure. My only issue with this is the left hinge. The left horizontal wrist hinge that they use should be vertical for a lightsaber, for a gripping hand. And I have issues standing this figure up, and that's actually the reason why I'm not using this, because I cannot make her stand up. That's the only issue with this figure. I don't know if it's just my figure, but my figure does have balancing issues. Maybe it's how they attach the feet. I'm not sure actually, but I'm having issues with the balancing. So if you have a figure like this, let me know in the comments if you're having issues with the balance as well, because I've seen some reviews and I don't see any balancing issues with their figures. Maybe it's just my figure, but that is my only issue, and it's not much of an issue. This is a pretty much solid figure, very nicely looking. Again, Hasbro did a really good job incorporating the cartoon like into a real like look for Ahsoka, and that's pretty solid. Alright, so I think that's it, and if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And if you have any questions or concern, please do leave a comment down below. And I would like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Cheers.